morning and welcome back to another Delgado's Rants. Yours truly, Joe Delgado, Indestructible Me. Go and get your merch. We're taking over the world. Changing the mind, we're changing the world. This is the show to do it. Excuse me. This is the show that's going to get you aware of the bullshit that you're in, the life that you're living. Be on the lookout. Your success plan. This is going to be literally a game changer for you because you're going to be able to write down your goals every day. You will be able to itemize the bullshit in your life and create a plan for yourself to get rid of the bullshit. So all that's left is assets and things that help you work you towards your goal. You can find me on Twitter, hashtag literate Joe Can't Talk, Indestructible Me. You can find any of my products, including that planner, indestructibleme.com. Blog, all of my type of stuff. We're changing the world. You'll be able to get updates on that. We talk about words, we talk about concepts, and I think today, especially being in February, is going to be a crucial topic, tax. You know, Mr. Taxman is coming. I used to work in retail, and we used to call February second Christmas. It's because everyone would get that tax money, and they would come in and buy dumb shit with that tax money. So it was more lucrative in February than it was in Christmas time when people were buying all these gifts and whatnot. So I had to look this up, see, just so we can, stay with normal tradition here. But it's a compulsory contribution to state revenue levied by the government on workers' income and business profits, or added to the cost of some goods, services, and transactions. Crazy. When I was typing this up or writing this up for whatever reason, I wrote down lied. I don't know if the energy that the world was telling me, something inside me, I just wrote down lied, and I was writing levied, and I wrote down lied. I was like, wait a minute, it's lied. Why would I write that down? Put in the comments below, why would I put lied down? It was a compulsory reaction required. But, alright, back on topic. Tax. What is your thoughts on taxes? Should we have taxes or should we not have taxes? There's a lot to digest in this definition, which I don't even think we should be looking at the definition. I said this before in another video of mine, so go and check it out. And same thing, Indestructible Me on the YouTubes, but you need to have a good understanding of what this tax thing is. And the concept of tax is an incentive, which sounds like a really dumb way to put it, and you're going to resist that concept. But it's an incentive. If you're wondering why there is billionaires, millionaires that are not paying taxes, and little bitty you making $40,000, $60,000 a year has to pay taxes, it's because this concept of taxes being an incentive. Now, obviously, there's a completely, illegal way to not pay taxes, and that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about on the clear fact that every January, the government comes out and says, hey, these are the things that are important to us. You, as a taxpayer, as a citizen of this great country, have the ability to either take your money or time, energy, because you can use that to levy in the tax code. You can use whatever resources you have to help us with any of these these things that we have, these problems that we want to change, influence that we want into our world, or you can just pay us, and then hopefully we turn around and pay or use that money for good causes. And that's essentially what it is. It's an incentive. Carbon emissions, right? Greenhouse gases, reducing the carbon footprint. You ever hear of tax breaks, tax credits? That's because it's all an incentive. And that's essentially what taxes are. They're not a punishment. They can be if you don't handle that right. And the reason why there's a ton of rich people that are not paying taxes is because they're going where the money's going. The government's telling me, hey, if I spend X amount of money, if I buy a vehicle, a transportation device that's over 5,000 pounds, I can write off that value, that cost. Boom, gone. So if I make $1 million, my taxes on that is going to be, let's say, 50%. So that's going to be $500,000. If I buy a $500,000 vehicle, instead of taking that $500,000 and sending it to the IRS, I'm buying something that I can use and I can write it off, and it completely avoids my tax bill. That's how it works. Charity. There's tons of charities that are actually listed as a deduction. And charity is a good thing, right? Giving back to charity, I believe, is a good thing. There's a ton of rich people that are very charitable. And cynical people, lower people that are going to be looking upward, are going to have some negative way to it, like about actually writing checks on and trying to give back to good causes. And again, there's a lot of unethical practices and stuff like that. And I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about in the sheer concept that taxes are an incentive. So if you are getting excited for getting a tax return, you shouldn't. That means you've been overpaying all year. You know, we're in 2022, right? If you're looking forward to a refund, you can get a check back from the government. That means you spent all of 2021 paying extra to the government every single paycheck. And I guarantee you, you're not going through every paycheck, doing the math and doing the calculations and figuring out if you're actually being compensated appropriately. You're just taking some accountant, the IRS's word for it. So, do you think that you're possibly losing money on that? You should actually embrace the fact that you underpay all year, because you're getting more of your money back every pay period. You're actually getting paid more instead of paying the government. And then your way to look at it would be, how do I keep this money? Because this is my money. The thing is that we get paid a salary or a wage from a company, and we only look at the net pay, what we actually take home, and not the gross. But the gross pay is actually what we are actually paid. And the government takes out, like, there's a bunch of withdrawals out of your paycheck before it gets to you. You're the one that is the last to get paid. And what do you do with that paycheck? You usually pay bills, and then you blow it on dumb shit. And then little to nothing gets saved. So you don't even pay yourself. You actually work in the negative, in the red every single month. But you need to look at the gross. If you're making $150,000 a year, but you're only taking home 90, excuse me, you're gonna probably be only focused on that 90. When then there's $60,000 every single year that's just getting flooded to other areas. A concept with you would be like, how do I get that 150 throughout the year? Give me all my money, and then I'll figure out a way to avoid my tax bill. I will create companies Maybe I create more income. Hey, that's a new problem. I have to find out a way to negate that earnings so I don't pay taxes on that money. Excuse me. So you got to reposition your mind on the whole tax thing. Oh, man. Little cough drop to help me. But, so taxes, you shouldn't be excited the fact that you're going to get a refund. That means you overpaid. And who's to say that you're actually getting all your money back? And that means you spent the entire year. Have you ever looked at your bill? You paid $30,000 depending on how much you make. I mean, I remember when I was making $20,000 a year, and I would look at that and see that I had $4 or $5 grand taken out of it, for the entire year. I'm like, what the hell? That's a lot of dough. It's almost that's literally that's 20% of my overall income. You have to think, so and then I got a check for like $200. Like, what the fuck? So I paid $4 grand, but I get $2,000 back. Your concept should be, how do I obtain that $4 grand? In fact, how do I get it throughout the year and then use it, leverage it, to multiply it maybe, or to use it for a good cause, and that avoids my tax bill, and I don't have to pay taxes on it at all. And maybe I do something good behind it. You have kids. Those of you that have kids and you're not leveraging those little monsters for tax benefits, you're doing yourself a disservice. I think the IRS allows you to employ a child at 6 months. You can create an MLM company, try to do a side hustle on the side that costs little to no money. You setting up, you get to write off a room in your house. You get to write off your utilities that you're using for the rest of your house because you're using it as a business. You can pay your child all the fees, all the income that you're going to be spending on them anyways. Food, clothing, all of that. That could be considered a paycheck to that child, and then you use it for their living costs. And as they get older, you can actually have that child sell for you. Like, hey, we sell cosmetics, we sell protein powders. You're starting to hit the gym now with your buddies. Sell this shit to your kids, friends. Sell it within your community, and boom, maybe you make more money. But you're able to write all of that off, and then you're writing off the salary that you're paying your child, i.e., the money that you're going to use to take care of them anyways. Clothing, school supplies, all that stuff that you're already allocating to take care of that kid, you can write it off against your earned income. You have to understand the tax game. You have to. I don't even have a kid. I know that. So that's the thing. I study taxes, and I'm heavily involved because taxes is our biggest expense in the world. We have to understand it, and you have to understand that if you're looking forward to a refund, that should be the red flag. You should not be looking for a refund, because no matter what, if you withdraw, if you have a ton of write-offs, that write-offs are only going to go to a certain point of avoiding your tax bill. That you can't increase your write-off so much where the government's going to pay you money unless you have credits. That's the difference. I guess I should have explained that. There's a write-off and there's credits. Credits is literally just a lump sum of money that gets thrown on top of your deductions. and a write-off essentially just negates your bill, what you owe. That's the difference. So like if there's tax credits on buying an electric car or a hybrid car or whatnot, reducing the carbon footprint. So they'll pay you like $5,000 to do it, or making your house solar. So the government will literally put a tax credit, so it's just sitting there to negate exactly like your bill of what you owe and whatnot, and it will actually pay you if you're in the negative on what you owe. Where a write-off will just negate what you owe, and that's it. Real estate. You can buy real estate and be a landlord. I know a lot of landlords get a lot of hate, but there's so many write-offs with real estate. That's why a lot of people love it. And you can actually be a great landlord. So if you hate the whole idea, be a good landlord. That's all it is. That's the concept that you need to turn around. Don't hate on it. Maybe you have a bad taste in your mouth because you had a bad landlord that was trying to nickel and dime you. Be a shitty landlord. Just don't be a shitty landlord. Boom. Same thing with sales. If you have a bad opinion about sales because a sleazy salesperson, don't be sleazy in sales. That's just, one person is not the rule for everything. Taxes is an incentive that you leverage. Avoid paying taxes by doing things. Giving back. That's how you become a contributor. Giving to charities, giving your time and energy to charities, resources. Doing business. Maybe you do own a business and you give materials. Like, hey, I'm going to give 1,000 products to kids. That's a loss of the company. And you're using it as marketing, maybe, advertising. You can write that out. It's all, you just got to get involved on understanding it. I 100% don't want to give my money to the government because I, just like you, feel that they're not going to use it to whatever they say they're going to use it for. They're going to give it back to people that are not responsible with money, with their lives, and then they're going to turn around and blow it on drugs and other things. So to me, I don't want that. I would rather take my money, instead of sending it to the government, sending it to a good cause that's actually going to use it. And your money is going to be allocated elsewhere anyways. Which one do you want to go to? Do you want to go to the government, yourself, or for a better cause? Better cause or the government? Which one? That's what taxes are. That's what you need to wrap your mind around. Do you want to send it to the government or a better cause? I feel that we all should be looking at the better cause, and the government needs to figure out their own fucking way because they're printing money left and right anyways and reducing the value of our money. Taxes. Hate them or love them, they're here forever. You have the ability to wrap your mind around it a different way, and you can use it to change how you structure your expense accounts, your money, your income, your finances. It's an incentive. All right, Joe Delgado, Indestructible Me. Go check us out everywhere so we can make you indestructible. We're changing the mind and we change the world. Thank you for tuning in, and always be great.